Okay, so we're going to talk about pressing. And so hesitate to use the term bench press, but there's a lot of different ways you can do. A lot of times you hear the term bench press, you're thinking of a flat like Brotastic or football, or powerlifting bench press. You won't really see in our programs a lot of traditional bench presses programs. You'll see some. The reason for that is I like a slight incline when I do pressing. And the reason I'll say this is a chest press instead of a bench press is just because I will play with the angles a lot. And that's honestly more from both anecdotal and some studies we have on just like shoulder injury basically. So the people that really do well with bench pressing, traditional flat bench pressing, they typically have a very big rib cage. They're just deep, right? Their rib cages are deep, and so they just can't get as much range of motion before their chest hits. The average person, like I'm an average rib guy, by the time you get here, it's a lot of tension on your shoulders and your rotator cuffs, and so I like having a slight angle. And you see here, this is like, I don't know, 20 degrees, 30 degrees or so. It can even be smaller than that. So sometimes at the gym, what I'll do is sometimes you'll see programmed as a slight incline dumbbell chest press. And I think in that video, it is a little bit lower than this, or it even can be, I'll take like plates, like 25-pound plates or something, and put them underneath the legs at the top where my head is, just to create that slight angle. I find that still gives me a great chest workout, but it just takes some tension off my shoulders, and it's just easier. And so the biggest thing with any kind of pressy motion, whether it's bench press or a chest press or a shoulder press, don't be afraid to play with the angles, right? Play with the arm path. You'll see Viva when she lines up, that's gonna come down right over her collar, which is a really ideal place, but it might not be totally comfortable for you. So it might be somewhere between collar and nipple. Play with the angle. Don't think you have to do certain things certain ways just because some dude on social media said this is the way you have to do it. Everybody's bodies are different. So start light, play with an arm path, play with an angle, both the incline and with your hands and the way it's coming down. That just feels great on your shoulders, because if it feels great on your shoulders, it means you can progress it and start lifting heavier with your chest. So if I was gonna get under the bar, her hands are gonna be slightly wider than her shoulders. She's gonna unrack it. And you're gonna notice when she comes down, she's bracing really good. She has a slight angle here in the rib cage, and she's keeping her chest really proud and tall. It's actually probably a little too. So go ahead and push back a little bit there. Good, yep. So once again, start light. So the first time I'm doing a bench press, especially if I'm a Smith, I'm doing exactly what Viva is doing, and I'm doing a few reps as light as possible and making whatever adjustments I need. So it's kind of hard to tell, but Viva is right over that collarbone, right over that GI joint. That would kill my shoulders. I would hate that, but she likes it, so that's cool. And so one thing, as she's rowing, as she's coming down, you got to think about like squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then as you're pressing up, you're just let them do what they're going to do, right? You're not necessarily moving your shoulder blades out, but on the way down, you're rowing your shoulder blades together, getting a nice big stretch in your chest, and then pressing out per normal. You're not trying to keep your shoulder blades in or anything like that. One of the cues I really like to give is chest up, chest up, chest up, chest up. It's going to keep you honest. It's going to keep you big. It's going to help you get the nice big stretch there at the bottom as you press up. Go ahead and rack it up. So the biggest things when performing the chest press of any kind is you're trying to get a stretch at the bottom. Now, if you have shoulder issues like me, I messed up mine playing tennis in high school. Some days I got it, some days I don't. Sometimes I have to play with the angle. But no matter what, I am trying to the best of my abilities to get a stretch in my chest. That's gonna come from keeping my chest tall, chest up, retracting my shoulder blades together, and living in that just for a beat, right? So like I use a stop sign analogy. Like, the difference between a rolling stop sign and an actual stop at a stop sign. Try to live in that for an actual stop at a stop sign. Doesn't mean it's a full second, but it's a stop. Live in that stretch and then press out. The only thing is, if you're doing dumbbells, do your best not to lock out totally at the top, because then you're going to take the tension off your chest. Not the end of the world. It's just a little less optimal, if you want to use that word. So the biggest thing, try to get that nice big range of motion. Don't be afraid to play with the angle, and then make sure you're braced well. And then once again, think about rowing that bar towards you and then letting your shoulder blades do what they're going to do on the way up. As always, if you have any questions, let me know.